All right, so today we are going to take a look at some commonly confused words. These are also known as homophones. I tell students to think about this portion of the word phones. And typically the way that I remember homophones is that if I were to pick up my cell phone right now and call someone and say the words to, and to, they would all sound the exact same on the phone. But we know that these words sound alike. However, they have different meanings and they're also spelled differently. So today we're going to look at a few of those commonly confused words and really focus on the difference between the meaning and then practice using them in sentences. So for example, when we look at the first set of words that, Mrs. Body just mentioned the words to, and to. We know that the first one, TWO, refers to a number, right? This number 2. And then if we use the word to with 2 O's, it means like also. If you were to say something like, I love ice cream too, it means I love ice cream also. The last 2 means like in a certain direction. For example, she goes to the pool almost every day. Again, going in a certain direction, headed to the pool. In the next set of commonly confused words, I think this is probably the most common set right here. There, and there. So what I tell students to remember, if I were going to write out there, I would turn the R into almost an arrow, like pointing in a direction, like in that place, going in that place or in that direction. And then the word there, right here, I tell students to think of the I in there almost like a little person. So sometimes I even like to draw a little stick figure there because this there means belonging to them. So let's take a look at 2 examples. Using the word there spelled E-R-E, the swim team practices there, meaning giving like a location or a place. There. And the arrow typically reminds me of like a location or a place. In the next example, they try to improve their speed, again referring to a person. It belongs to them, it's their speed. The last one, there, is a contraction for they are. So let's look at this sentence. Next week, they're having a big meet. Really what you're saying is next week, they are having a big meet. So again, just practice with those 3 commonly confused words. Now, here are some others that we often encounter in 4th grade as well. No and no, right? We know that this means the opposite of yes, and no means like, I know that you are going to do really well with this. You're aware of it. It's something that you know. The next one, I know that even myself, I'm guilty of getting these 2 confused. It's and its. You have the first one with the apostrophe. That's a contraction for it is. And then it means belonging to it. The next one we want to talk about, I know you guys probably know this one, hours and hours. Hours means referring to like time, and then hours means like belonging to, right? That book is ours. The next example, I'm sure that you guys are probably familiar with too, is the difference between right and right. Right, like that's the right answer, or right, like I write with my right hand. The other one, right, is like you're writing on a piece of paper, right? You have nice handwriting. The next one I'm sure you probably don't confuse very often, but we'll take a look at it anyway, wood and wood. We know that this one refers to like a piece of wood, like a part of a tree. And this one, would, means under a certain condition. I would do a really great job if I studied. And then the last set of commonly confused words we want to take a look at is new and new. So we know that this one means the opposite of the word old. I want to go and get a new pair of shoes. And then this one we know is like the past tense of that word know. Like I knew you guys would do really well with this. So let's look at a few examples. We have 6 examples here, and we have to circle the correct homophone that's in parentheses. So in example 1, not many people know how fast Kira is. What do you think? Which form of the word no or spelling of the word no is correct? That's right. It's this one. Something that you are aware of. So not many people are aware of how fast Kira is. Let's look at the next example. They would not want to compete against her if they did. Does it make sense to talk about like a piece of wood here? No. It's this one. Under a certain condition, they would not want to race against her if they knew how fast she ran. Let's look at example 3. She has a new coach who is helping her train. Which homophone is the correct one for this sentence? New, exactly. A new coach, the opposite of old. He thinks it's possible for her to be on the Olympic team. Now remember, it's spelled ITS means belonging to. And then it, with the apostrophe S, it means it's a contraction for it is. That's right. He thinks it is possible for her to be on the Olympic team. Kira is working hard to prove him right. Now, right means like you have a pencil and paper, and right means that you are correct. So which version makes sense? Exactly. To prove him correct. In the last example, we're using that commonly confused word there. So their goal is for Kira to beat her own time. Does it make sense to say their goal is for Kira to beat her own time? So if you have to go through and do like a process of elimination like this and cross out the ones that you think are incorrect, that is okay. That's a great strategy. So we know that this one means like a location, and this one refers to like ownership, belonging to them. So is it their goal or is it their goal? Right. This one would make sense in this example because it's belonging to the people who are working with Kira. It's their goal for Kira to beat her own time. Today, you guys are going to have 5 multiple choice questions where you have to read the sentence and choose the underlined homophone that is spelled correctly in the sentence as it is being used. Let me know if you have any questions.